in session 3, we will discuss about human and man-made resources, and we will decide chapter 6, that is what? Economic activities and occupation, human occupation. Okay. So now you see, in our previous session, that was in session number 2, already we have discussed about natural resources and this word human-made resources, and these natural resources we have discussed about the sub-classifications that are renewable and non-renewable, continuous or flow, biological. Again, this non-renewable can be further classified into recyclable and non-recyclable. All these things we have already discussed in our session number 2, isn't it? Now, in session 3, we will discuss about human and man-made resources. Now, you see, human resources means what? When the people are quite eligible to do some kind of productive works. Okay, that means the skilled persons or the professionals who are quite efficient in some kind of activities which are quite capable to produce something, they are known as to be what? Human resources, isn't it? I think you have all remembered in class 8 already, you have got that term human resources in your social science, in your advanced social science, geography part also already you have studied human resources. Then also I will repeat once again. What are human resources means what? The people who are quite efficient to do some kind of productive work are known as to be what? Human resources. All the human or all the human beings, all the people living on the earth they are not termed as what? Human resources. Why? Because you know the people they may not be very they are quite very high this word studied in a very high education, or they have quite attained some very high degrees. They can be their minimum qualification may be below matric, or that only up to the high secondary, like that, where the people can get the minimum qualifications, or you say this ME up to the ME level also, but they are quite efficient in some kind of productive work, such as they are quite efficient, they have some kind of skill, they have kind of they are quite very quite they're perfect in some kind of productions, some kind of to create something, some new items. Now they can be known as what? Human resources. So in the world, all the people are not termed as human resources. The human resources, you can't say that all the people, only the section of the people, those who are capable to do some kind of productive work, to give some kind of welfare to the society, only they can be termed as what? Human resources. Okay. Now you see human and man-made resources. So this is what first of all is structures and institutions. So you see these structures and institutions means what? The people who are quite able to make some kind of institution, some kind of structure, some kind of very constructive purposes, all them can be known as what? Man-made resources. And quantity and quality. Now you see, quantity means what? Which we can calculate. Quality means what? Which we can see, but in the terms of their development. Okay. So these are all can be known as what? Human and man-made resources. Is it clear? For example, we can take, suppose, institutions, our institutions, we can take our institution, isn't it? These are quite made up of man, and we have some quality also, we have quantity also, both we have, isn't it? So our institution can be the best example of this one, human and man-made resources. Is it clear? And we can take some much more other institutions also, some much more activities also. Very simple term, suppose now this Android phone, isn't it, which we are using now. Now these are what? These are what? Productivity of human beings only. These are what? Man-made or the human resources. And we can say that the buildings, the houses, all these are, that means what are productive or some kind of skill, some kind of production activities related is known as what? Human or man-made resources. Is it clear? Okay, now we will proceed to chapter 6. That is, so now I am rubbing on this. I think all you have noted in your answer sheet, answer book, answer copies. This flow chart is quite very essential. Now we will proceed to this that we have already discussed what are occupations, economic activities. Now here I will give you one very good definition of occupation or economic activities. Now this will be chapter number 6. This economic activities and occupation, chapter 6. Occupation or economic activities. Economic activities. Okay. So here I will give one very definition. So economic activities or occupations we have discussed in our previous classes, previous sessions. We have discussed that when the people used to earn their livelihood by any kind of activities, that particular activities are known as what? Economic activities and occupation, isn't it? It can be service sector, it can be business sector, it can be some kind of allied sectors also. Now based on the different activities, the occupation or the economic activities can be broadly classified into several types. Okay. Now first of all of you just write down what do you mean by occupation. All of you write down this definition, occupation. Okay, this occupation or economic activities are same, quite same. Occupation. Write down. Occupation is the work by which man earns his livelihood. Yes, livelihood. Stop. It is basically an activity. It is basically an activity done by man to satisfy his various needs and wants. That means their demands, their desires. Wants. Stop. In other words, the activities which a man performs for his own survival, and for the socio-economic advancement of the society, in which he lives is termed as occupation. So all of you just note it down. What is occupation now? Occupation is the work by which man earns his livelihood. Full stop. It is basically an activity done by man to satisfy his various needs and wants. Yes, this is very important now. Needs and wants. Why we used to demand, our needs, our wants, we have to work for our livelihood, isn't it? And only to satisfy those various wants of ourselves, at the same time for our family also. So in other words, the activities which a man performs for his own survival and for the socio-economic advancement of the society in which he lives is termed as what? Occupation. So the activities which a man performs for his own survival and for the socio-economic advancement of the society. Yes. Now this one, socio-economic advancement of the society means what? Socio-economic means what? For the society, for the advancement of the society in which the particular man or the woman he or she lives. At the same time, for the economic status, to improve the economic status of the society also. So he used to perform some kind of work, and this is termed as what? Occupation. Is it clear? I think all you have noted it down. This is very important definition. If the question may come, what do you mean by occupation? If you write this one, it's quite, it will be quite okay. Yes, it will be quite enough. And you can give some examples such as primary occupation, tertiary, all these things also you can give some kind of example. If the question may come, what do you mean by occupation? Give example, then only you can write all the things. Okay. Now we will discuss about the types of the occupation. Yes. So initially I gave you some kind of outline of the primary, secondary, tertiary. Now we will discuss in a detailed way with full definition. Okay. So I will just, I'm rubbing all of this stuff. Now we will discuss the various types of occupation or the classifications of occupations. Okay. So here we will discuss main is what? Primary occupation. Okay, first of all is what? Primary occupation. That means these are quite classification or the types of the occupation, primary occupation. Here we just read out the occupation which enables men to get the necessary goods from nature to satisfy his or her basic needs, such as food, shelter, then we can say clothing, etc. is known as primary occupation. All of you just note it down. Whatever I have written here in this whiteboard. Okay. So this is what? Primary occupation, the occupation which enables man to get the necessary goods from nature to satisfy his basic needs, such as food, shelter, clothing, etc. is known as what? Primary occupation. Is it clear? So, for example, we can write here agriculture, comma, we can write here animal rearing, then fishing, then we can write collecting of foods from the forest, mining, lumbering, etc. Mining, etc. Okay. So these are some kind of examples: agriculture, animal rearing, or we can say animal husbandry, fishing, collecting of foods from the forest, hunting, mining, etc. Means which are quite directly depend on nature. Is it clear? So this is one primary occupation. All we have discussed in our previous session only. So I have given you the outlines, and these are quite very easy also. So all of you just note it down. This definition is quite enough. Okay. Now we proceed to the second most is what? The secondary occupation. So here we will go on the secondary occupation. Number 2. What do you understand by now this secondary occupation? So all of you write down. Number 2, secondary occupation. Secondary occupation. So here write out, when primary goods or the goods which are this word in the primary occupation, when the primary goods obtained, when the primary goods obtained by means of primary occupations are used as raw materials for the production of secondary goods, that means finished goods or some kind of ready for consumption goods, secondary goods, or new goods through charting processes. They are called secondary occupations. They are called secondary occupations. For example, manufacturing industries, factories, firms, etc. Yes. So this is what? Secondary occupation, when primary goods obtained by means of primary occupations are used as raw materials for the production of secondary goods or new goods through charting processes. They are called secondary occupations. For example, manufacturing industries, factories, firms, etc. Is it clear? That means what? In secondary occupation, what we get? That when the primary goods that can be obtained from the primary occupation and which can be taken from directly from the nature as the raw materials and can be transformed into some other finished desired goods, these can be known as what? In secondary occupation. Okay. For example, where we can do the secondary occupation only in the manufacturing industries, only in the factories, etc. etc. Isn't it? For example, in our previous sessions we have taken some examples of the pair of table and chair. So in the food processing industry also, where the this wheat can be transformed to bread, and again we can take suppose the fruits. Suppose now mango, isn't it? The mango can be transformed in some kind of fruit processing industry to mango juice. Again we can say mango pickles, jams, jellies, all these things, isn't it? So from that raw material mango we can get several items where only in that food processing industry, isn't it? And this is for a industry where that particular raw material can be transformed into some another form. Is it clear? This is known as what? Secondary occupation. Okay. So in our next session we will discuss about the tertiary, quaternary and quinary occupation. So I think this much is quite enough for this session number 3, chapter 6. First of all, we have discussed about the man-made and the human resources, and second we have discussed about what are primary occupations. I have given here the note, entire note. I think all you have noted down. And here now we have discussed about secondary occupation. I think all you have also copied it down. Now in next session, that will be in number session 4, we will discuss about secondary, we will discuss about tertiary, quaternary and quinary occupations, and I will give you some definite notes. Okay, so this much I think quite enough for this session.